Hi, my name is Heather Murphy and this is my Module 1 introduction video. I live in Conway Springs, Kansas, which is a small town. There's about a little over 1,000 people, and from there I went to college at Kansas Wesleyan University in Salina, Kansas. I played tennis there and I got my Bachelor's of Art in Elementary Education and my endorsement in Special Education. From there I got a job in Wellington, Kansas at Eisenhower Elementary in the 2nd grade. This is my 3rd year teaching. I have an open classroom concept, so there's 2 2nd grade teachers in one room and we kind of collaborate together. So I like to say I have 39 students. We had a lot of changes. We got a new math curriculum my first year and a new reading curriculum this year, and we just moved to standard-based report cards this year as well, so lots of changes and new things going on. I'm going to get my master's degree as a library media specialist. I loved the library growing up. I love to read, but I don't think the library just has to be a place for students that love to read. I think it can be a safe haven for anyone, and that's kind of my goal. I started this past summer, and this is my 6th class that I've taken. I'm currently in another class that started in August and will end in December. When thinking about Chapter 1 and critically thinking about these questions, why do politics influence schools but not necessarily move school leaders to take action based on politics? When the power went from the federal state to the state, there was a lot of just kind of open spaces, it seemed, from the chapter where it wasn't just black and white or set in stone. Like questions like who decides the curriculum was still up for debate, and so that also makes it very political because there can be a lot of influence from people that might make it hard for school leaders to make decisions, but they always do what is best for the students. So even if the influences coming in is one thing, if it's not best for the students, they're going to do something else. Why did the standards focus on the outcomes and seemingly split the work and skills of a profession from the knowledge and wisdom? The standards are backed up by decades of research done by educational leaders. So a leader can know a lot about the profession, they can have a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but if they don't have the skill set or the work ethic to put that knowledge and wisdom forth, then it's almost useless. And so I think the standards focused on the outcomes, and kind of split that to show, hey, you have to have the work ethic and the skills to be able to use your knowledge and wisdom to help students be successful. And so then, snowballing onto that, why did the standards evolve to explicitly call for school leaders' direct action? Because, again, the standards were made out of years of school leaders working to help their students, and research showed from one school district, all the students were low economic status, low political status, low social status, but they were still successful because their school leader was very active and they tried to get what the students needed to be successful. So school leaders must become political activists to get the families what they're entitled to. I know with budget cuts and other things like that, there's scarce resources in some school districts, and it's up to the school leaders to kind of fight for those families and their communities because they deserve some things to make sure that they are successful. And why do politics surrounding educational policies provide the strongest connection between school leaders? What school leaders feel and do, and their abilities to strategically think and handle it all? I think it's just because of the profession. I mean, we're all in it for the kids and to help the kids succeed and do what is best for the students. So even if they have personal beliefs on some views, if they look about how it affects the students in their schools, it will help them make the right choice for the students, not just for themselves. And it's always important to rely on others because one person cannot do it alone. So superintendent, principal, building leaders, it's kind of a group effort to be politically active and provide for the students and what they need. So I'm not up to date as I should be in all the educational policies, politics, but I'm not in an educational leadership position at the moment either. I can still get better and improve, as we're going to talk about later, but I can be an active I can advocate for my students still, even as just a teacher, and that is something that I'm going to continue to do. And so, of course, I'm going to follow my principal's rules and the district rules in the redesign and MTSS, but I'm going to bring up concerns if it's not benefiting my students, and that is something I need to continue to get better and stay up with those politics as well to make sure I know what is going on in my district and in the state. And so my improvement is just to stay on top of educational politics and be active, always put my students first and kind of what they need, and just be more involved in my school leadership team. I am joining that team this January, so I think that will help me to improve in educational politics, because that is something I definitely need to improve in. Thank you for listening.